殺しきれないんですよ。兵隊いくら殺しても殺しきれないんですね。だからやっぱりチェスの発想なんですよね。でそれをここで言ってるんですね。
The object of chess is to force your opponent to surrender by eliminating his pieces. Each piece has its own rank and can only move in a specific way. The goal of chess is to kill the king.
In contrast to that, the Chinese game of Go starts with a board empty, and you use as few pieces as possible to acquire as much territory as you can. And in that sense, it's a very resource-efficient strategy.
The object of Go is not the destruction of the opponent's force, but the conquest of space. The goal of Go is to capture the most territory with the least number of stones. Using a Go-like strategy, Sun Tzu decides where and when he fights. He avoids the strongest part of Nanhua's army and attacks where it is weakest. Sun Tzu's guerrilla tactics against the Chu forces echo throughout history. But it's during an infamous war more than 2,000 years later that they resonate most loudly, and where Sun Tzu's ultimate secret becomes most evident. It's the mid-1960s, and the world's greatest superpower battles North Vietnamese communists in a country smaller than the state of Montana. General William Westmoreland, a hard-nosed World War II combat officer, sees the battlefield like a chessboard, where armies stand and fight head-on. But unlike chess, Vietnam has no clear objective for Westmoreland to attack.
It's a classic case of a general fighting the last war, and in the sense that the lessons he had learned there only applied partially to Vietnam. There were no fixed objectives to be taken. There were no fixed units to be destroyed.
No one understands this better than North Vietnamese General Vo Nguyen Giap, who sees Vietnam, like Sun Tzu would, as a go-board. Instead of facing the overwhelming U.S. military directly, he uses insurgent forces, the Viet Cong, to stage hit-and-run attacks all over the country.
We see something very similar to Sun Tzu's raids into Chu in North Vietnamese tactics and operations in the Vietnam War.
Giap has learned Sun Tzu's principle that it is more important to outthink your enemy than to outfight him.
これもですね、これも、さっき言ったあれに近いですかね、勝つに5機ありっていう話しましたけどね。これはありました。
And it's tactics and strategy, not overwhelming firepower, that cost.
具を持ってフグに勝つってやつね。
Does the U.S. to ultimately lose the war in Vietnam, a loss that Sun Tzu predicted thousands of years earlier. How Sun Tzu was able to do this, as well as predict the outcome of the invasion of Normandy and the final harrowing day of battle at Gettysburg, is about to be revealed. Sun Tzu says, in war, numbers alone confer no advantage. Do not advance.
カンファーのアドバンテージ、アドバンテージを与えない。数ではアドバンテージを与えない。これも虚勢編で後でね、詳しく説明します。
That's relying on sheer military power. It's the midnight.
これなんか言ってたかな。虚実戦。そうじゃないですね。これは虚実戦また後で読みますけど。
1960s in Vietnam, U.S. General William Westmoreland orders intense aerial bombardments. The U.S. will eventually drop nearly 7.
Yeah, they get hit by lots of.
ここにハンバーガーヒルって書いてありますけど、南ベトナムの 警告ハンバーガーヒルっていうアメリカ軍のインターメイルってこう単語だけ書いてますけど、これは、交互に工作する。そういう意味ですね。
There